Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to get over on the Hatta forks on the F7 Kawasaki. We're going to tear those apart. I've got to try to get some seals and boots for them. So we'll do some measuring up there and see if we can find a compatible seal and dust cover. And we'll take the tubes, once we get those out, take them over, put them on the rollers and see what the run out is on them, see if we need to repair any bends, twists, whatever. So let's get over here. I've already got one taken apart and we'll start on the other one. Okay, I've got my soft jaws here in the vise, and these particular ones I have kind of a V shape in it. So it helps hold these pretty nice. Now this is the replacement pair that I got. I probably won't go into the other ones unless I need to come up with some parts to fix these. This is not the best situation here for the camera, but this is what I've got. One of these days I'm going to have to try to get something built like I have over at the other bench to get it overhead here. But for now we'll just try to muddle through. Okay, really the first thing you want to do here is, while you've still got spring pressure in there, is to try to get this Allen head loose down here at the bottom. Yep, came right loose just like the other one. I haven't drained these. The other one I didn't either. Wasn't much left in it. Now once you've got that, watch, this one will be full of it. Once you've got that off, then you can go ahead and take the cap off the top. That's easily done with an impact. Also, I like to use my 1/2 inch one on that so I can use a 6-point socket. That way you don't damage the aluminum cap. It's under a little pressure there, but not too much. The other one had quite a bit of water in it. I'm not sure what this one's going to have. Well, this one looks a lot better so far. Doesn't appear to be much oil in this one either. All right, go ahead and pull her off. Yeah, there's nothing in it. Just a little wetness is all. Now the most difficult part of this whole job is normally getting the seals out. And especially with these aluminum housings, you want to be very careful. You don't want to go in there and take a screwdriver and start prying like this, because you're going to have collateral damage right here. You're going to end up breaking this or putting a dent in it or something. I'm going to show you how. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's the best way to do it, as far as what I found anyway. And let me get you in a little different position here. Okay, hopefully you can see there. There's a snap ring right here in the top, and you just need to get behind that and try to get it to start working its way up out of there, just like that. And then just under that, you'll have a washer, same thing. Now you're down to the seal, And like I say, if you get in there with a seal remover or a screwdriver or anything like that, see this is the standard. If I pulled on that and that seal was very hard coming out, which it will be, I will destroy the side of this aluminum housing here. So you do not do that. And it's pretty much the same thing with a screwdriver. You're still going to give it collateral damage there. So what I found is to just get it in a vise good where it can't move. Let me see if I can get this kind of down where those bolts go, so I can put a little more pressure on it. And what I do is I've got a very small chisel, and I make that really sharp with a sharp point. And actually I'm going to touch this up just a little bit. Let me do that. Alright, I'm going to show you on the one I've already taken out. Most of these original ones had this metal band, and that is just not going to come out unless you do what I'm telling you to do. And you're gonna tear up the seal. There's no getting around that. But hopefully you don't tear up anything here. This is actually very thin, so you need to be careful. And you just want to go at this slow, because you don't want to get into this aluminum with your chisel. So I just start here, and I look quite often to make sure that what I'm doing and how it's going. If your chisel is really sharp, you will be able to cut through that metal band. And sometimes what I do too is to get that seal kind of out of my way, I'll take a hacksaw. I've just got a hacksaw blade here, and I can start just cutting the rubber part, because it keeps wanting to bounce. Okay, so I think I'm pretty well cut through it. Now I can get back in there and like I say, just get in there and look, make sure you're not damaging that. And keep your chisel sharp. Okay, once you think you've got pretty good cut on it, then go over to the side and kind of get in the middle of that seal and try to get it to bend. See there? See, we're bending both sides. Now you can get it, you can probably get in there and kind of see more of what's going on once you get some of that rubber out of your way. Now I'm going to get you down there so you can kind of see what's transpiring. Let me get a light. Okay, I think you can see there what's happening. I'm like I say, right here is where I'm trying to cut through the metal and trying to stay out of the aluminum. And then you just get in here and kind of tap up to try to get this to come away from the side right here and right there. And now I'll continue down the middle to see if I can get that cut out of there. This takes some time. It's not something that's going to happen in just a couple of minutes. And you just got to keep working at it and keep looking to make sure you're not causing any problems. See, I'm moving that where I've split it. I think you can see there now where it's starting to come away from the wall of the fork tube. So we just keep tapping. It's really good to try to keep the chisel as sharp as you can, and a small chisel. Don't try to get in there with a big one. Okay, we're getting a lot more of it cut through. Try to bend up some more of that seal. And sometimes you can get in there with a different instrument. Okay, I think I'm loose enough where it might just pop out now. What you need to do is get a little piece of wood if you can, and usually what I try to use is a paint stick or something like that. See if I can get one here. There we go. And I just lay the paint stick right along this edge. Yeah, see, it's relieved enough pressure off of it so that so you can pop it out. We just almost cut all the way through it, but as we cut down, we started this bending in and up process, and that's starting to take the pressure off so that you can get in there with a screwdriver or something, go ahead and pop it out. But be sure to use a wood backing or something, and if it doesn't come out very easily, you just need to cut some more. But that's what you're dealing with. The replacements probably won't be as hard to get out because they're not going to have that metal. They're going to be more just rubber. Okay, so there's what we did, and oh, you can see a little pecker mark here and there where I got into the aluminum a little bit, but it's not going to hurt anything, you know. But getting in there and trying to pry that out, you will break this, so be cautious. Okay, the next thing we need to do is get this damping rod out of here, and we've got to take the aluminum piece off the end. If you'll just take some needle nose and put on there like that, and a little hammer, it'll just pop right loose. And push that up in there, and then we've got a snap ring to remove. You can see the snap ring right here. Okay, so we get that out. This one came out a lot better than the other one. The other one was stuck, all these parts here. You've still got, there we go. All right, that should be everything that needs to be removed. And all that is your, dropping it all here. But you've got a little washer And this is for your spring, I think. And you've got some dampening stuff. This is not the correct order, of course, but and you've got another snap ring down here where you can separate this piece also. I'm going to put all this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we're going to take the tubes over and check the run out on them. And I'm just going to take all these pieces, anything that needs to get cleaned up. I don't know, I may have to reuse those. I don't know whether I can. They look like the same ones that go on the small Yamaha Enduros, the 125, 175. I'm betting money that they're probably the same, but we're gonna have to do some measuring to find out. So I'll just drop those in along with it. I've got my ultrasonic cleaner down here, and it's all warming up. I'll just get all these pieces in there. Okay, I've got a setup over here in my rollers, and first thing I notice here is we got about 20 thousandths run out, and here's the bottom triple clamp. So most of the time your major bends are going to be just below it. We were at about 25 almost. Let's see here. Yep, about 24 thousandths right below it. And the looks like the high spot's right there. More than likely, if we give it a shove right there, we'll probably correct most of what's happening. Let me just roll this down a little ways. Yeah, see, it's less. Oops. We're at more like about 18 there, I think. Yep, about 18. So it's getting less. So here's where we're going to correct this one, or start the correction. And the one thing you want to do is you always want to have, like I'm putting it right here, you know, it's an estimated thing. And then on this end here, I'm supporting it right here. So that's, you need to try to put it back in the blocks the same way each time to keep from interjecting other problems here. But as of right now, it looks like it's kind of a pain getting around the camera here, guys. Okay. So 24 right there. Okay, so that's where we'll check that one. Let's just check the other one real quick. see what we're dealing with here. Okay, again, I'll just mark these, kind of show where I've got them over the rollers at. Oh, this one's pretty nice. Again, right here is where the lower triple clamp is. So we're about 5. This one may not even need any. I want to keep them within 10, but I'd like to keep them within 5. That's kind of my rule. And this is just something you want to do. You know, the straighter you can keep your tubes, the longer your seals are going to last, the better the bike's going to handle. There's so many benefits to everything being true. Okay, so that's where that one is, and it's within 5. Okay, I've got this tube that we need to work on a little bit over here in my press, and I've got it supported by a couple of 2x4s here on the end. So you don't want to damage anything, so you make sure you support it with something other than metal. And then I always take a piece of aluminum, and that's what I push with. Here's where my marks are, so that's where my first push is going to be. Looks about right. Okay. You don't want to do too much, and then we'll take it over and check it. All right, let's give it a go here now. And we're zeroed out there. All right, about 15. We've taken 9 thousandths out. So we'll go back over, and still the high spot is right here where I marked it. So that's still our high spot, so we'll work on that some more. Okay, I'm going to concentrate this a little different. Give it a little more pinpoint pressure there. Okay, I'm just going to let it set there a minute. All right, back over to check. All right. Okay, I'm getting about 8. And it's still in the same spot where I marked. 2 dots. So we need to take just a little bit more. Okay, let's take another look here. Ooh, looks like 2. I think we'll stop. It looks good. Yep, staying about 2. Okay. I think we're good on this one. I'm not sure whether I'm going to mess with the other one or not. It's within 5, and I'm usually good with that. Now, another look at my setup here. You know, you can move these in and out to pinpoint it more by getting a smaller area. Sometimes you have to do that, but usually it's bent pretty much right underneath that triple clamp, and that is the case here. but be sure you put your wood blocks down to protect it, and use aluminum or possibly wood. I always use aluminum, and that way it never damages my fork tubes. It's softer than the steel is. Okay, on those, anything I did with those forks right there, those, almost every fork assembly of that era in any make and model of the Japanese bikes are going to be very similar as far as disassembly. For sure, the fork straightening part, that I pulled I pulled five. I pulled five pulls on that fork tube and brought it down to 2/1000ths from 24. So you just go slow. First time or two, I didn't hardly bend anything. So I just, you're cautious. You want to make sure you don't push it back, push it too far and push it the other way and have to push it back, because you don't want to overwork that tube. So just go at it slow. If you're not getting anywhere, just go a little further. Maybe stop and let it sit there for a little bit and normalize, and then take it off and check it again. But always, after each pull on the press, make sure you go back, put it on the rollers or V-blocks if you've got V-blocks, and give it a check again. So there's another thing I want to go over right now. I'm first going to go over the measuring of the seals, so we'll see if we can get that. Okay, we've got enough left of these seals to get a pretty good measurement, because it's just crushed into one place. I'm getting 40 and a half millimeters there. And that one's squished a little bit more, so it's 40/36. I got this chart off of All Balls Racing, and they've got a listing of all their seals. They got crankshaft seals, fork dust seals, and you just let's see here. Let's measure this tube. Okay, so it's 30 millimeter. So I've already looked down the list here, but we're at 30 millimeters ID, 40 and a half OD, and 10 and a half on your thickness. Yep. So that's the seal I'm going to order. And I'm not real sure, but if I look this up under the application, I just almost bet it's going to be the same one that's used on the AT1, CT1 Yamaha, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to look and see, because they sure look similar to me. So that's going to be our fork seals. Now, they have a lot of, these are your steering head bearings. Size chart for that. You can measure all those. We'll be doing that eventually too. But they have a lot of applications here. Here's another fork seal kit size. I'm not sure what the kit is, whether that comes with the dust covers or not. I'll have to do a little more research. And here's a big, a complete page here with all metric seals. So you might be able to find what you're looking for if you're having trouble finding something right there on their website using the charts that you can readily print off. Okay, I think we're at where we know what we need to know in order to order seals. All right, guys, I pulled a Yamaha fork off. This is a 72, and it's kind of crusty inside here, so I really can't measure it, but it's built just like the Hatta fork is. It's got the snap ring and then the washer and then the seal. And it measures the same 30 millimeters, and on the tube anyway. And that was the same thing we had here on the Kawasaki fork. Yep. And this is the dust shield that I removed from the Yamaha fork. And here, of course, is the lower Hatta fork. Snaps right on there, just like it's made for it. So we know that will work. And of course it's 30 millimeters, so it's the right size for the Kawasaki fork too. Okay. And then I measured these here. Remember, I come up with 40 and a half, and I just happen to have a set of Parts Unlimited seals here for the Yamaha, and they list them at 30 times 40 and a half by 10 and a half, and that's exactly what we measured this one at. We came pretty close to 40 and a half, and then we know the tube is 30 by 10 and a half. So these here are really built pretty good. They've got the double, you've got the double spring here, one here and one here. And these are actually made, you see a step right here? And these are actually made like the Yamaha ones that are about $30 a piece. So they start easily into the tube, and then this up here is your seal, where it seals, you know, where it goes into the lower tube. See, it's a little bit bigger there at 40/81. And then you get down here at the lower part and you're at 40 and a half. So that makes this easy to start because it doesn't matter which way it goes because you've got the double spring. But that being said, this I think is the proper way. See, this starts easily. That way it keeps you from foobarring it up when you put it in. And you'll see on the upper part that, I think you can see that, there's like a double lip right here, and then you just have a single lip down here at the bottom. So that's what tells me I think this is the top, and that's where this extra, it's a little bit bigger there in diameter. So it starts easy, and then as you push it in, it seals between the tube and the seal. So this is the right one for the Yamaha, and apparently it's the right one for this 1971 F7. And like I say, these boots, dust cover boots, they snap right in there, just like it's made for. So that's what I'm going to order. I see if you look on eBay, you can order these in a kit form for that. It's listed for Kawasaki from England for, I don't know, 20 or 30 bucks, but you got to pay the shipping. You folks that are already in England, knock yourself out. That's probably a good price, but it's kind of, I don't see the point in ordering it from there if you're where I'm at. And there again, the all balls number for the Yamaha is the 55102, and that shows at 30 ID, 40 and a half OD, at 10 and a half on the width. So I'm going to order that. I need to order a couple for some Yamahas anyway, so I'll order an extra one for this F7. Okay guys, there you have it. You know, we did a little research here and we found out that apparently the 1972, at least 72 and 73, they had the aluminum lower fork tubes. Those will fit according to what I'm seeing here. And it's when you go to look for the Kawasaki stuff on eBay or online, normally what I'm seeing is the parts from the UK. And like I said before, if you're in the UK, that's great. But nobody's showing them here in the States. I can't find them anyway. So with just a little bit of research, you going online, a lot of the manufacturers have these charts where you can look up that stuff for yourself, just like with the Pro X rod kits. You can look on there if you've got your old rod. You can go on there and get every dimension of the new rods and just sit there and measure yours everywhere it says to measure them. And it's the same thing with these. So use those charts. They will help you. And in this case here, we're going to be able to order them for the good old Yamahas we've been working on. And they're going to fix up the Kawasaki. And you know, these are aftermarket parts. So if you've got a problem not using a Kawasaki part, it's just an aftermarket part. I'm telling you though, it fits a Yamaha. So that way it's going to save us some money, and we're going to have the right part. And I'll be doing a part 2 to this as soon as I get everything cleaned up, get the seals and the boots in hand, and then we'll go ahead and do the build up. So look out for part 2 on the Hatta fork build. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.